Welcome to the family, son.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we'd just have a little look at some of the upcoming horror games that I'm excited about. So with that said, let's get into it. First on the list we've got Tenebris Somnia, a beautifully crafted 8-bit survival horror game from Cybot Studios. The game follows a film student called Julia as she tries to unravel the mystery of what happened to her ex-boyfriend Ivan. Following a series of awful nightmares about his untimely demise, Julie visits his apartment and is flung into a supernatural thriller with occult rituals, alternate realities and sickening creatures. And if the gameplay and story premise isn't intriguing enough for you, the fantastic 8-bit visuals are juxtaposed with breathtaking live-action horror cutscenes. Tenebris Somnia is coming to Steam soon, so go check out the demo and wishlist the game if you're interested. Next up, we've got Post Trauma from Red Soul Games. It's a psychological survival horror game set in a twisted version of a subway system. You take control of a train driver named Roman who awakes in this nightmare reality following a panic attack and must explore the subway's twisted tunnels and defend himself from horrific abominations. When it comes to gameplay, Post Trauma is certainly more akin to Silent Hill than it is to Resident Evil, with more of a focus on logic puzzles that can be real head scratchers. It's coming out on Steam, Xbox Series X and S and PS5 on the 31st of March this year. Directive 8020 from Supermassive Games is the next chapter in the Dark Pictures anthology. Set far in the future, the Earth is dying, and the crew of the colony ship Cassiopeia crash land on what they thought was going to be humanity's saviour planet, Tau Ceti F, only to find themselves hunted by an organism capable of mimicking the crew. And I know that the gameplay of Supermassive Games is not for everyone's liking, so I'm pleased that this time they've put more focus on the actual gameplay whilst keeping the core choice-based mechanics of the previous titles. And with heavy John Carpenter's The Thing vibes, I for one can't wait for the sheer dread of not knowing who to trust. Directive 8020 releases on Steam, Xbox Series X and S and PS5 on the 2nd of October 2025. Tormented Souls 2 from Dual Effect is the long-awaited sequel to one of the best horror games of 2021. Boasting traditional survival horror gameplay, genuinely taxing puzzles, and a fantastically oppressive atmosphere. In this game we rejoin Caroline Walker from the original as she's pulled away from her normal life and thrust into another twisted adventure as she frantically tries to find a cure for her sister's mystery illness in the remote South American town of Puerto Milla. So, grab your pneumatic nail gun and get ready to face off against more waves of body horror monstrosities as Tormented Souls 2 releases on Steam, Xbox Series X and S and PS5 some point in 2025. Next up we've got Echoes of the Living. This is a love letter to the classic Resident Evil titles, with beautiful visuals akin to the GameCube era, along with classic gameplay and puzzles. And it's being developed by Moonglint, which is a husband and wife combo. The game begins with a fog descending upon a small European town, causing the locals to become sick and the dead to rise from their grave. Our dual protagonists, Laurel Reeves and Liam Oakwood, must fight through the hordes of undead to find their loved ones, unravel the mystery behind the sickness, and escape the devastated town. Echoes of the Living plans to release on Steam in 2025. Next up we've got Flesh Made Fear, another classic Resident Evil style indie horror game coming from Tainted Pact. This one takes its art style from the PS1 generation and really leans into the campy nature of that generation's horror titles. Join the Reaper Intervention Platoon as they try and find their missing teammate, fight for their lives against mutated experiments, and try to understand what all this has to do with an ex-MK Ultra scientist. If you enjoy the classic survival horror titles, this one might be for you. Flesh Made Fear will release on Steam, and even though it has no official release date, I would go out on a limb and say it'll be out before the end of the year. The demo's available now, so give it a go and wishlist it if it does interest you. Chronos: The New Dawn is the next title coming from Bloober Team following their fantastic handling of the Silent Hill 2 remake. Set in Poland sometime in the future after a cataclysmic event, the player must use time rifts to travel between their time and the 1980s pre-cataclysm to bring the essence of key people who perished back to the future to help unravel the mystery of what happened whilst fighting nightmarish remnants of humanity. And that's about all we know about the game currently, but it is set to release on Steam, Xbox Series X and S and PS5 in 2025. And like many others, I have been skeptical about Bloober Team, but their work on Silent Hill 2 makes me confident that this is going to be something interesting. And there we go, that's the list of my most anticipated upcoming horror games. Thank you so much for watching, please like and subscribe and definitely leave me a comment, and I'll see you on the next video.